Yo, what is going on, you slackers? I am your host, Slackerz Gaming, bringing you a bonus episode of Rate Their Chances. That's right, I usually only do 2 of these every Sunday, but I had a little extra time on my hands, and I figured, you know what, let's do another one. So today, the bonus episode today is actually coming from a viewer from last week's video, Owen Stroud. He decided to request Tails from Sonic, so I figured, you know what, you guys want to request some stuff, I'm going to start doing some more of the characters that you request. So if you have anything, a character you want to request and you want me to do in a future video, please leave them down in the comments, and hopefully I can get to them very soon. Hopefully next weekend I get maybe another bonus episode or something, and I'll be sure to cover something that somebody requests. So let's get right into today's video. And like I said, of course, we're covering Miles, Tails, Prower from the Sonic series. So, where do we start with this guy? I suppose if, might as well just start with the pros, right? Pros and cons. If you haven't seen the series before, maybe consider checking out some of the future or past videos that I do. But real quick, what happens is each video I will be going over a specific character. I'll be going over pros and cons for that character, and then at the end I will give my personal opinion about what I believe that character will have in the upcoming Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch for a chance to be playable characters. So let's get into the pros. First things first, right off the bat, Nintendo Switch, Super Smash Bros. You know they're looking to hit it big with their roster this time around. Again, just like last game for the Wii U and 3DS. And that most likely means a few more big hitting third-party characters. Now, does Tails check that box? I'd say somewhat, yes. He's a big-time third-party character. People know Tails. He's iconic. He's from one of the oldest iconic, gaming franchises out there, IPs. Tails, Sonic, you guys know him. Anybody knows this guy. But, so being, third party, absolutely, probably has to, tie in somewhere with this guy being, third party, considered. So, I mean, that's gotta be a pro, right? As long as you're recognizable, I mean, you gotta be a big time third party character to even be considered for Smash Bros. In my opinion, because they're not just going to take any third party, just like, oh hey, this third party character had like 2 or 3 games and it sold pretty decently. No, you got to be like iconic in status, like your Sonics, like your Mega Mans, like your Pac-Mans, like your Clouds. You get where I'm going with this. So Tails is probably up there, not nearly as popular as some of the characters that I just mentioned, but he's up there, so he does have that going for him. Another box we can check off is moveset potential. Absolutely great. Something I would love to see kind of incorporated is maybe some gadgets he has, some of the vehicles maybe he could use in a moveset. But most importantly, I think obviously iconic for Tails is, well, his Tails. I would like to see like his like how he hovers around, kind of like maybe how Peach does it. When you're jumping and you can hold the jump button and she kind of floats back and forth with the umbrella. Something like that for Tails, I think would work extremely well. That would be very cool to see, maybe kind of the same length, maybe a little bit longer of like the floating or the hovering, however you want to call it, like that Peach has. That'd work very cool for Tails, it would suit his character extremely well. Would love to see that. And then of course you could just tail whips, tail smashes, like I said, some other gadgets and maybe vehicles or something that he comes up with, Some of his inventions would be really cool to see implemented into his moveset. So, again, check the moveset box. He's got that covered. And, of course, kind of tying into my first point, but he is very recognizable. That helps him. You have to be recognizable. You have to be kind of, quote-unquote, the iconic status for third-party characters if you're going to hope to have a chance to be playable in Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch. So, with the pros out of the way, now we got to move on to the cons. Now, we do know third party has had multiple, third party characters overall in Smash, but no third party series has ever had multiple characters from their series. So Sonic is already in. Would Tails have a good shot to being in? Don't get me wrong, like Sega itself has two IPs for them. Obviously Sonic and Bayonetta. And would they really add in another character from the Sonic series in this case? Would they add Tails in? I don't really think so. That's gonna really count against them. I don't think that they're gonna take, or at least, again, these are my opinions. I really don't believe that Sakurai or whoever comes up with this, their criteria for characters. I really don't think that a second third party from a series that's already represented would have a good chance to being in. I can't see it personally myself, so I think that's a big con in my opinion. Again, third party franchises, there's way more third parties that kind of seem. There's a dog barking outside. I apologize. Nothing I can do about that. But there's way more third-party characters that are, you could say are more iconic that could deserve to be in Smash Bros. I've covered a few of them, such as like a Bomberman maybe, or Banjo-Kazooie, or, Hayachi from Tekken, something like that, Geno from Super Mario RPG, some of those characters that have been talked about. A couple of them had Mii costumes in the last Smash Bros. Game, so that kind of tends to lean towards them maybe a bit over Tails. So yeah, more third parties that are, we'll say, more deserving than Tails, but it's hard to put, it's hard to come up with an actual opinion about Tails. Like, yes, he's got he checks off a lot of the boxes that should meet criteria to be a character, but then he also has a lot that kind of goes against him. It's really hard for me to actually come up with an opinion about Tails, but, I really don't feel Tails has a big chance. He doesn't have a shot. I really don't. My personal opinion, 10%, honestly, if I'm being 100% here, I don't think Tails has a good shot at all. I think 10%, that's me kind of being generous, if I'm being honest. But Tails at 10%, I don't see Tails being playable in Smash Bros. At all. I just think because Sonic's in, I don't think they're going to add a second character from a third-party series that already has representation, I think that's really big. If they're going to put third-party characters, they're going to branch out, maybe reach out to other third-party companies that don't have representation in Smash yet, But only time will tell. Maybe Tails does fly in under the radar. Who knows? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Again, E3's in just a little over 3 weeks away. I'm so excited. I can't wait for E3. The reveal and the gameplay to watch. Oh, it's going to be so fun. Hopefully we get a release date too. Who knows what happens. But that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys like this one. And again, remember, if you have any characters you want to suggest or request for me to kind of go over in future episodes, leave them down in the comments. I have said this before. I have a huge list of characters that I personally want to go over with. And if you guys start requesting characters, I'm going to start bumping those characters up to the front of the list because you guys watch these videos. And if you guys start requesting stuff, you guys are going to want to watch the stuff that you request. So I will make it, one of my top priorities to get the characters that are requested, get some videos out for them sooner rather than later. But anyway, that is going to be it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Again, thank you to Owen Stroud for, requesting Tails. Again, these are my opinions. You don't have to agree with them at all. But Owen, I do apologize. 10% is what I gave Tails. But I guess that's it for this one. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully we catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.